Want to ensure that you've got a microphone in your hand before you ask a question, and please ensure that all of your mobile phones are either muted or on vibrate. Thank you very much.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for coming today. It's great having here to answer some questions. It's clearly a lot of people here, so we're not going to get to everyone. So just to start you, is there anyone point on this side? We don't need a microphone. But I'm saying, is there a microphone? Yes. So there's a microphone in front. We'll start there in front here. We'll work our way back. So the other side, we'll start there in front. We'll work our way back.
G'day, Pat. First questions first. Have you had a look at the pitch?
Yeah, just had a look.
And what did you make of it?
Again, I'm not a great pitch reader, but it looked pretty firm. They've only just watered it, so yeah, give it another 24 hours and have a look, but it looks like a pretty good wicket.
Has it been used before?
Yes, I think Pakistan played someone there.
So how do you expect it to play compared to Calcutta?
Yeah, hard to know. I think it's been a bit more high scoring here throughout the tournament. Yeah, it's been a pretty good wicket, so yeah, hard to say.
Pat, all the best for the final. People are already building it up as India coming hard at you for the 2003 revenge as well as the WTC final, which you also played as a captain and won it. So, and Indians also have the home advantage. You expect the Indians to come really hard at you, especially when they are in the kind of form which Australians were in 2003 and 2007.
Yeah, I mean, neither player from both sides were there in 2003, so it feels a long time ago. But we know it's going to be a packed house. There's going to be 130,000 fans here supporting India. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be awesome. They've been playing really well, undefeated this tournament. But we know at our best we can, give them a good shake. We've played them quite a lot over the last couple of years with success. So it's all building up for a nice final.
Okay. I just wanted to check on middle stuff. Do you think you could be one of the choosing factors in the final? We've had great success in the other years. So do you comes to mind in terms of kind of that feels like it's a position to start against
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. The way he bowled a couple of nights ago up in Kolkata was fantastic. Bowled 7 straight, a couple of key wickets, could have easily had a couple more. So, opening partnership between him and Joshy Hazlewood's going to be a big one for us. We saw what impact they can have in a game when they bowl like they did the other night. So they're both big game players, played in a few ICC finals now, so know what it takes.
Pat, you guys are not stranger to playing against India. As the start of the tournament, you have said that you have played India more than any team else. So just wanted to know that, have you faced any other more dominating Indian side, or should I say any other more ruthless Indian side than this one?
I think it's hard to say. They've certainly played really well this World Cup. I think we certainly didn't. I don't think we scored par in that first game, but we're one catch away from potentially being in front of that game. So there's lots of. We won an ODI series here early on in the year. There's lots of moments we can draw on where we've had success against a really good Indian side.
Pat, you said you know what it takes, and you've played in a lot of big games before, big tests, big one-days, big T20s, but 100,000 people wanting you to fail is probably something new. How do you deal with that, and how does the team deal with that?
I think you've got to embrace it. The crowd's obviously going to be very one-sided, but it's also... In sport, there's nothing more satisfying than hearing a big crowd go silent, and that's the aim for us tomorrow. You've just got to embrace every part of a final. Even in the lead up, there's going to be noise and more people and interest, and you just can't get overwhelmed. You got to be up for it. You got to love it, and just know whatever happens, it's fine. But you just want to finish the day with no regrets.
Hi, as a fast bowler, what do you think are the challenges you face while bowling on Indian wickets?
I think similar to a lot of ODI cricket in general, the ball obviously swings for a few overs, but after that there's not much swing. So you've got to try and create wickets in other ways. It's not necessarily catches behind the wicket like you might have in Australia. So you've got to be brave with some of the balls you use, slower balls, bouncers. You've got to keep it, find that balance between mixing it up, but also not go chasing too much. So I think we've struck that balance pretty well. And at least over here in India, a lot of the time by the end of the innings, things like cutters. Work perhaps better than it does elsewhere in the world.
Hey Pat, I know you've said that you've stuck to the processes through the whole tournament, but at Zip and 2 and Sri Lanka none for 100, was there ever a moment where you thought, gee, we might not make it this far?
Absolutely, yeah. The proposition at that stage was basically we had to be flawless to make it through to the semis, and fortunately we were. But yeah, absolutely, it's we knew we came up against 2 very good sides to start off with, but we were off the pace. So we knew that we had to change pretty drastically, and yeah, glad we did.
Last you mentioned that your locker is all on the field, and he's no longer in the cycle.
But reaching the final without a dominant show, unlike in the past, how does it feel to take on a dominant India? You know, but does the tag of 8 finalists, 5 winners play a role?
Yeah, I think with experience, and fortunately, some of that experience is playing in World Cups where we've been dominant. We've won before. I think one of the pleasing things is I still don't feel like we've played the complete game. Maybe against Netherlands, but outside of that, we probably haven't. There's been no huge wins. We've had to fight for every win, but we've found a way to win. And different players have stood up at different times. So I think taking that confidence, knowing that we don't have to be at our absolute best to challenge any team, we can find a way through it. I'm sure we'll draw a lot of confidence. All the boys draw a lot of confidence from that going into tomorrow.
Okay, Pat. Has everyone pulled up okay from the other night? And I suppose as an extension, do you expect to go in unchanged?
Everyone's fine. So no injury issues at all. So we'll, coaches and selectors haven't assessed the wicket, so they'll come down tonight, have a look, and we'll pick a team later tonight.
Given the discussion in the lead up to the last game around Marnus and Stoyne, is there any scope, I know you decide it later, but potentially that if it is more a batting-friendly wicket, that you could be tempted into going with the extra all-rounder?
Potentially, yeah. Those are things we'll weigh up before every game. We're lucky we've got a 15-man squad who we feel anyone can step in and perform. They're all ready to go. Like every other game, we go through a process where, coaches get together and chat through what they think or how they think the game's going to go about, and then the selectors obviously pick the final 11.
Which Indian bowler or a batsman challenging for your team tomorrow?
They're all pretty well rounded in all departments. The one guy that didn't play at the start of the tournament who's done really well is obviously Mohammad Shami. He's a class bowler to right and left armers, so he's going to be a big one. But again, these are guys we've played a lot, so all our batters can draw on moments where they've taken on these bowlers and done well.
Pat, just the year that you guys have had, you've been on the road a lot. Came close to winning a test series in India, sort of. The World Test Championship final, retaining the Ashes, and now from where you were against Sri Lanka to here, is this like the cherry on top? And how do you just sum up the year that you have as captain and as a team?
It's been a huge year. There are 4 marquee events that, if you have one of those in an off-season, it's a big off-season. We've got 4 of them. So being really proud of all those things you mentioned, not only the wins, but the guys have spent, for some of the guys, probably spent less than couple of weeks in their own bed since the end of the Aussie summer. So, one thing that stayed consistent has been the morale in the group. The guys have been awesome. They're so up for every game they play. And, to put ourselves in a position of this, it'll just top off an incredible year. And, probably a career-defining year that a lot of us will look back on in years to come and be pretty proud of.
Hi, Pat. Of all the teams, are Australia most equipped mentally to be immune to a partisan crowd of this size?
Potentially. We play over here in India a lot, so the noise is not something new. I think on this scale it's probably bigger than we would have experienced before, but it's not something totally foreign to what we've had before. So everyone deals with it slightly differently. You see Davey probably dancing and winning the crowd over. Other guys just staying in their own bubble, but it should be good.